We trust you're well on this 26th day of July, the year 2025. Well, this is KUTV Weekend Live, and glad that you're tuned in for the next 30 or so minutes as we're going to inform you on the latest developments in the world and beyond. But first, let's get an intro.
This is Weekend Live with Ochieng, Cynthia.
Well, that's right. My name is Ochieng, Cynthia, and on the sign language interpretation desk is Naomi Ombui. Remember that you can find us across all our social media platforms. On YouTube, it's KUTV News Kenya. On X, it's KUTV_Kenya. Welcome. Now, the Kenyan government has inducted 25,000 youth workers into the Climate Works program, a major step in scaling the country's urban climate response. The initiative, led by the Ministry of Land and bringing on board partners including the Nairobi Rivers Commission, targets pollution, waste and degraded public spaces while creating greener jobs for youth. The workers will focus on informal settlements, riverside areas and flood-prone areas, including the Nairobi River Corridor. The CEO, Joseph Murashia, emphasized restoring dignity and building a greener future. The program aims for lasting environmental, economic and social benefits through ongoing training and partnerships. Moving on, Tharaka Nithi Governor Muthomi Njuki has put on notice health centers operating without proper licenses. Speaking in Mpukoni, Tharaka Nithi County, and as Yusuf Abdinasir now reports, the governor emphasized that unlicensed health facilities are a major contributor to preventable deaths due to negligence.
The Council of Governors Health Committee Chairperson and Tharaka Nithi Governor Muthomi Njuki has declared an all-out war against health facilities working without proper documentation. According to Governor Njuki, they have received numerous reports of hospitals operating illegally to the detriment of unsuspecting patients, who in turn get substandard services.
We have said we are going to streamline health services by ensuring that all hospitals are registered with KMPDC, they have license, and they are also registered for SHA. Hapana story ya kupiga kona hapa ati unafanya record ukiwa Nairobi na ground hujaangalia. Let the hospitals be licensed according to the facilities they have. Madaktari pia tumesema let them be licensed according to the skills wako nazo. Sio tu unapatana na daktari anasema amefanya cesarean delivery Chuka, lakini ukiangalia rekodi yake yeye huwa anakaa Nairobi. Ulifika Chuka saa ngapi ukafanya cesarean delivery?
Drawing a contrast between the defunct National Health Insurance Fund NHIF and the newly established Social Health Authority, Governor Njuki described the NHIF as a scheme plagued by corruption. In contrast, he praised the Social Health Authority as a reliable insurance system aimed at improving access to quality healthcare services.
NHIF ilikuwa na shida zake mingi. Commercial imeingiliwa na matapeli ambao walikuwa wanafanya claim ya kitu ambako hakuna. Unaenda hospitali unawekwa siku 14 na ulienda tu hapo na headache peke yake. Kwa sababu kuna NHIF ndio daktari alipwe. Naongea mambo ya hiyo hospitali kwa hapo private.
Addressing Mpukoni residents during the groundbreaking ceremony of a 40-bed maternal unit at the Mpukoni Health Center, Njuki emphasized the need for Kenyans to be keen about the quality of healthcare services they receive at all levels, insisting that the current health system in the country under SHA guaranteed patients the best quality, with avenues for recourse if better services are not provided.
Lazima uende kwa chemist ambaye iko na barua. Tuko pamoja? Mnazunguka watu wetu hapa na matanga kila siku na nyinyi ndio mnajiua. Kwa sababu ya kwenda kwa hospitali, chemist, pharmacy which are not qualified. We want to say no to commercialization of health services. We want professionalism in delivering healthcare in Kenya.
Other healthcare providers which are on the radar of both the national and county government are pharmacies that operate without licenses. Yusuf Abdinasir, KUTV, Nairobi.
Now, on matters security, Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen has extended the government's firearm amnesty to youth in possession of illegal weapons in Baringo County, describing them as victims of long-term marginalization. Speaking at the county headquarters, Murkomen disclosed that the government is actively pursuing finances of banditry in the region, with a special focus on Tiati, which he said has suffered most from historic negligence.
I want to say this, that I encourage leaders in Baringo County to appreciate that Baringo County is one county in the first place. One county. Land issues within Baringo should really not become an issue. This constituency and the other constituency, that is still Baringo County. In fact, we have administrative units in other counties in this region where there is an overlap. For example, you just go to Elgeyo Marakwet here. Kerio Valley sub-county is both Marakwet East and West. So it shouldn't really create all these problems. What we need to do is to do a proper land demarcation, so that once everybody has their title, it does not matter whether that resident is a Tugen or a Pokot and is living in Tiatich or lives in Baringo North. It will not matter, because it is a titled citizen of Baringo County and Kenya. And therefore, where you find yourself administratively should not be an issue. The biggest issue here is that the fight over resources, pasture, water, is actually driven by the fact that we don't have clarity on titles. And there is a titling program that is going on, and we will continue supporting it from the security sector. We will also support our brothers and sisters in the lands sector, working together with the counties to make sure that everybody is given their own title. Once they have their title, whether they will be in Baringo North or Baringo or Tiati, doesn't matter. They will all be in Kenya, and that person will have sanctity of title, and their property and land will be protected.
Moving on, the Democratic Congress Party, DCP, has issued a one-week ultimatum to the government to release school capitation funds or face a nationwide student protest. During a rally in Embu over the arrest of Manyata MP Gitonga Mukunji, who was arrested over Sabasaba protest, the DCP Party Secretary General Cleophas Malala warned that students across all levels would march to the State House if funds are not released by August 8th. Leaders including Senators John Methu, Joe Nyutu described budget cuts, accusing the government of crippling free education through corruption and mismanagement. They warned of serious consequences if the Kenya Kwanza administration fails to prioritize the education sector.
Hii tunaambiwa kwamba kuanzia next term ati wazazi watakuwa wanalipia watoto, hakutakuwa na fedha za serikali.
Ukijaribu kuuza pesa na free primary na free secondary education, sisi tumesema tutaweka watoto wa shule wafanye maandamano wakiwa mbele.
William Ruto, you found free primary education by Mwai Kibaki. Uhuru Kenyatta did 100% transition of children from primary school to secondary school. Ulipata mambo ya university ikiendelea vizuri. You want to kill the future of Kenya and it is not possible. Uhuru Kenyatta akatusaidia ya secondary imekuwa ya bure. Wewe William Ruto, inawezekana watu wanakuadvise ni watu kama
tulizaliwa tukaambiwa kwamba elimu ndiyo mwangaza, si ni kweli? Yeyote basi anayetaka kumaliza masomo ya watoto is a leader unto darkness.
Now, Deputy President Kithure Kindiki today called for greater empowerment of women, describing it as a critical step towards Kenya's economic and social transformation. Speaking during a community engagement in Bungoma, he said supporting women leads to stronger families and more resilient communities. National Assembly Speaker Moses Wetangula, who also addressed the gathering, urged Kenyans to uphold peace and national unity. He warned against tribalism and divisive politics, calling on leaders and citizens to foster mutual respect and cooperation. The leaders emphasized that unity, inclusivity, and gender equality are essential for building a stable and prosperous future for all Kenyans.
Ule mama anazungusha 5,000 shillings stock, akipata msaada kupitia kikundi chake, hiyo stock yake itoke 5,000 ifike 10,000, hiyo familia imenufaika. Kweli si kweli? Kweli si kweli? Ule ako na stock ya 3,000 akipata another 3,000 through the group ifike 6,000, hiyo familia imepata bahati kama mtende.
Jambo la muhimu zaidi, ndugu zangu, siasa ya Kenya lazima tuilinde vizuri. Siasa ya ukabila, siasa ya chuki, siasa ya matusi haina nafasi katika nchi yetu. Lazima tuwe na heshima kwa Wakenya wote. Juzi tumeona aliyekuwa naibu wa rais wetu ameenda Amerika, anaambia Wakenya walioko Amerika ati msitume pesa nyumbani.
Now, Weekend Live is taking its very first commercial break. We'll be back with more. Stay tuned.
This year, North Coast Beach Hotel has exciting holiday offers just for you. Whether you're planning a July escape, an August family break, or a magical Christmas getaway. For July special, book 2 nights and get 1 night absolutely free, all for just 17,314 Kenya shillings per person sharing on half board, as you enjoy access to free swimming, a fully equipped gym, guided reef walks, and a complimentary sauna session for each booking. For August family offer, make memories with your loved ones at only 11,543 Kenya shillings per person sharing for a 2-night stay on half board. There's free family entertainment, fun indoor games, and lots of activities for children, plus a 10% discount on all extra services during your stay. For the December Christmas holiday, celebrate your festive season in paradise. Book before 31st October to enjoy our exclusive Christmas deal. Stay 3 nights between 23rd December and 2nd January 2026 at only 34,628 Kenya shillings per person sharing on half board. And for our flexible payment plan, take advantage of our lipa mdogo mdogo and pay in easy installments. Call us today to book on 0722 209 458 or 0733 409 430 or email info@northcoastbeachhotel.com. North Coast Beach Hotel, your home in paradise.
Miti miti, panda panda, miti miti. Our planet's future is in our hands. However, there is a threat to the brightness of this tomorrow. On EarthCheck, we share the challenges, the solutions, and the hope.
I would call this a very momentous day, a very critical day.
Every episode, every story, every step we take creates a ripple. Join me, the environmentalist Emmanuel Kutosi, on KUTV every Wednesday at 8 p.m. and be part of EarthCheck. Welcome. are watching Weekend Live with Ochieng, Cynthia.
Welcome back, and let's keep on informing you. Now, the call for intergenerational talks by ODM leader Raila Odinga has stirred mixed emotions among Kenyans, with some welcoming the talks while others appearing to reject it. In this week's episode of the Political Chessboard by our very own Blue Smile Hassan, we assess the political move by Raila Odinga and its implications in his political field, assessing whether the talks will succeed or fail.
For almost 33 years, Raila Amolo Odinga has been shaking the foundations and political structures of the country. Dating back since he was elected Member of Parliament for Langata in 1992 until now 2025, Raila Odinga has been a key figure in Kenya's political arena. His presence in the country has been interpreted by political analysts and commentators in a mixed way. However, many see Raila in 2025 as a leader who prioritizes the nation's future more than his personal interests, although many argue that his efforts to lead the country forward through his famous handshakes have seemingly benefited him the most.
Raila is a national figure who has been known as an electoral combatant and a national statesman. He has been known for fighting for the rights of Kenya.
In this episode, we analyze Raila Odinga's recent call for the intergenerational talks.
Juzi nilipendekeza kongamano national conclave ya vijana na watu wa juu wazee. Tumesema tunataka vijana wawe sawa na wazee.
Political analysts and commentators say that this call for talks between generations is a strategy to try to channel the anger of the Generation Z from the protests into structures where all parties, both the complainants and those complaining about, can listen to each other without threats.
A strategy and a tactic of trying to remove the debate away from the noisy streets to a more structured conversation. Which, when you look at it, it can appeal to the middle class, the business class who are against these Gen Z protests. And it also appeals to the international partners, because many a times when we have riots and protests, the international community, international partners normally give travel advisories.
Despite Raila choosing a path that seems to unite the nation, these talks have received mixed reactions, some welcoming and supporting them.
Nataka nikukonfirmie baba, Gen Z wako tayari kwa mazungumzo. Millennials wako tayari kwa mazungumzo. Nataka leo utatuambia kama nyinyi na kina Atuoli pia muko tayari kusikia mambo ambaye tunataka kusema.
While the opposition camp rejecting them.
We are saying, Bwana Raila Odinga, before you tell us to enter into new dialogue with William Ruto, you entered dialogue with him called NADICO. It has not yet been implemented.
Political analyst Brian Mastid analyzes the opposition's stance against these intergenerational talks, saying that the opposition resistance is a usual thing.
Raila Odinga is facing opposition on this, not because of the premonition that the talks could fail. Actually, this is a normal thing in Kenyan politics. Every past initiative, especially the ones that Raila Odinga has been at the forefront leading, they normally bond to draw skepticism from both the political class and some Kenyans. And this intergenerational conclave is not an exemption.
Despite this opposition, Raila Odinga has demonstrated that he has a muscle to accomplish much politically. Given his national political strength, if Raila Odinga succeeds in conducting these talks, his political influence will multiply significantly.
It would be a strategic win for Raila if the talks were to happen and people engage and solutions are found, because Raila will rebrand himself from that labeling of eternal opposition to a nation builder.
But in the event that these talks fail,
the talks fails, there will be repercussions for Raila Odinga, William Ruto and his government, the opposition, Kenyans at large, Gen Zs included. Critics might say that not even the youths trust him.
Now, and even if they fail, Raila has a reputation of having political strategies that extricate himself from any sticky political situation.
We should be alive to the fact that Raila Odinga has been able to overturn the narrative in the event of things not going his way. Even if the dialogue fails, he can spin this to his own advantage.
Whether the intergenerational talks will happen or not is a matter of time. And if these talks will bring any benefit to any of the party involved in any way at all is something that we have to watch closely. Ismail Hassan, KUTV.
Thank you, Blue Smile, for that. Now, the controversial direct settlement system, DSS, for coffee payments has become a serious concern from Mount Kenya coffee farmers. In Kirichu, Nyeri County, during public engagement forum, a group of members of parliament from the region addressed the issue, arguing that the government's new coffee payment model was imposed without consultation with farmers or local MPs.
Group of members of parliament from Mount Kenya region, including Honorable Mwangi Kiunjuri of Laikipia East and Jane Kagiri, Laikipia women representative, they at Kirichu, Nyeri County addressed controversial direct settlement system aiming to advocate the abolition of the DSS for coffee farmers. The MPs criticized the Ministry of Cooperatives and Cabinet Secretary Wycliffe Oparanya for imposing the system without consulting the farmers or regional lawmakers. Honorable Mwangi Kiunjuri emphasized that the new model was not based on parliamentary approval and voiced their support for a payment system that would allow farmers to choose their preferred payment method, thereby addressing the farmers' frustrations, claiming that introduced models potentially undermine the cooperative system and farmers' preferred payment methods.
Kwenda kwa Oparanya next week. Kuambia Oparanya, hizo regulations, you must set them aside. Listen to our people. Vile watu wanataka kulipwa, walipwe namna hiyo. Sio kulazimisha raia. Ndio mnataka. Hiyo maneno ya kulipa kahawa, mkulima alipwe kahawa ni pesa yake, vile anataka kulipwa.
Will vote no whether present or absent. These are the words of Jane Kagiri, who joined other Mount Kenya legislators in opposing the direct settlement system for coffee farmers, and also emphasized on youth economic empowerment, focusing on creating job opportunities and skill building programs, particularly for women and youth, to drive local development.
Na mimi nasema hiyo mswada ya pili ikikuja tayari kura yangu nimepiga no. Nimepiga unataka nipiga no? Mimi ninawaacha na kura yangu. Mheshimiwa Mwangi Kiunjuri, hata siku hiyo nikiwa sitakuwa mbunge, ambia speaker wa Kangura nilisema no. Na hiyo
Mount Kenya MPs now plans to push the government to review and replace the current DSS regulations to better reflect the farmers' interests. Edna Nerea, KUTV, Nairobi.
Elsewhere, it's a sigh of relief for farmers in Gishugu, Kirinyaga County, as construction work resumes on the long-awaited major road. The project, commonly referred to as the Belt of Gishugu, cuts across all wards in the constituency and is key for linking farmers to the Embu-Nairobi Highway. Gishugu Member of Parliament Githinji Gishumu, who assessed the ongoing works, said that nearly 100-kilometer road has been divided between two contractors, Stekol Corporation handling 53 kilometers and Chinese Wuyi doing 45 kilometers. The legislator assured residents that the constructions will remain on site. Constructors will remain on site until completion. He also said that the road will be securitized to qualify for fuel levy maintenance fund. Gishumu further urged residents to cooperate, especially in relocating water pipes to ensure smooth progress.
Tumekuja hapa mimi na wananchi wangu wale wameweza kufika hapa kudhibitisha ya kwamba ile barabara inaitwa Musibi wa Geshogo. Musibi ni kama mshipi ambayo inafunga Geshogo yote. Wondi zote zitakuwa zina wondi zote za Geshogo hii barabara imepitia na itakuwa inaserve wananchi wote wa hizo wondi zote.
Now, Environment Cabinet Secretary Deborah Barasa joined Kilifi County Executive Committee member Omar said officials from the Kenya Forest Service, Kenya Wildlife Service and local residents at Mida Creek in mangroves planting exercise in the area. The event marked the International Day for the Conservation of the Mangrove Ecosystem, observed on July the 26th and 27th under the theme Protect Wetlands for Our Future. The initiative emphasized the importance of mangroves in climate resilience, biodiversity, conservation, and sustainable community livelihoods. Now we are up for a second break, but don't go too far. We'll be back with more.
My name is Jakub. I'm Associate Professor in the Institute of Philosophy of Jagiellonian University in Krakow, Poland, and I'm the main coordinator of the Cafe project, which is being here hosted by Kenyatta University.
My name is Eva Hudoba. I am a project manager in this consortium. Keep watching cutting-edge research at Kenyatta University Television.
Hi, my name is Stella Tioi.
Jina langu naitwa Okemwa Mukwa James.
This is Mandela Gaya.
Ugonjwa ulipokuja ulichukua siku 3 ukaniweka in coma. 20 wamezikwa, 2 ndio wako hai.
I don't even know how it feels to see.
I feel like I cannot express myself well the way somebody who can walk can actually express themselves.
Ilichukua muda mwingi mrefu tena mpana ili kuikubali kwamba mimi siwezi tembea tena.
I've come to actually accept myself.
Ukijaribu kumsimamisha mtu umwambie tafadhali nionyeshe njia,
they find it quite strange talking to you.
We should just make schools integrated,
inclusive setups,
by providing the right facilities.
Welcome back, and let's get sporty. Now, Kenyatta University staff team was a no match for Presbyterian University of East Africa in the finals of corporate staff football tournament that was held at Kenyatta University main campus. The KU were up to a flying start in their opening match before falling to Mary University in their second match. The one-day tournament brought together 10 teams from various institutions in the country.
So today's tournament is basically an invitational tournament, and the teams that have confirmed are 10 of them, largely from their institutions. We have Kenyatta National Hospital, we have Kijabe, we have USIU, we have Tharaka University, Meru University, coming to a total of 10, Puea and many others. The tournament is it's a sort of a league. Before we go to the quarters, the three teams will play against each other, so that the winner now gets to the quarterfinals. And at the end of this tournament, position 1, that is the winner, will lift the Victor's Cup, and position 2 will also get a cup. Basically, that is the brief of this today's tournament.
So strategy ni norma. Unajua strategy, the biggest strategy is to win the tournament, but now that is broken down into per match, okay? So strategy per match, game ya kwanza tumeingia, tumewin. Normally first matches inakuanga a bit tricky because tumestruggle game ya kwanza. I have a pool of so many players hapa. Niko na my first 11 is quite good. Then I also have a second 11 which is also very good.
Now, in Mtangani, Malindi, Kilifi County, taekwondo is more than a sport. It's a lifeline. Herbert Chilango, a Kilifi resident, introduced free martial arts training through the Winnership Club in 2021 to steer youth from crime. Today, over 60 children are enrolled, with parents reporting major behavioral improvements. And according to local elder Kazungu Chunye, he has credited the program for shielding youth from criminal gangs like Mawoza rather. Trainer Muita Edwin says taekwondo instills discipline and focuses skills as vital as formal education. Balozi Kalu notes that his daughter has become more confident and organized. Despite positive outcomes, the club faces funding shortages for uniforms and transport.
Nikaona kwamba Mtangani ni mahali ambapo naweza anza huu mchezo, kwa sababu nilikuwa nimeangalia kwamba Mtangani kulikuwa na visa vya uhalifu venye vinaendelea. So nikakaa chini nikaona nitafanya nini ili kusaidia hii hali. Nikaona at least ni introduce huu mchezo wa taekwondo.
Hizi kuna haya makundi ya vijana ambao wanaitwa maoza, ambao sasa kila mahali ni kama wameenea kila mitaa siku hizi. Sasa watoto wenyewe sasa wakijibidisha na umri huu wanaweza kuwa dakika za mwisho wakajisaidia huko njiani wakipambana na hao vijana.
Tumeona kweli vijana walikuwa wameharibika, na pia still bado wameharibika, lakini tunaomba mwalimu vile ameanza huu mradi, na mimi kama mzazi, juu hata niko na watoto wawili, niko na kijana na msichana wako hapa kwa hii klabu ya taekwondo, na saa hii kulingana vile nikiwauliza wenyewe wanasema kwamba wako na ile self defense. Mwanzo kama huyu msichana huwa anarauka na asubuhi sana mapema, anataka na saa 12 awe.
Now, the final 2 days of the PKG Equator Tour at Limuru County Club were characterized by fierce rivalry, with the players putting on impressive performances and moving up the leaderboard constantly. With a score of 65 on day 2, Greg Snow now leads the field before the third day begins, pushing his overall score to 9 under part 135. After consistent play, Edwin Mundanyi shot a strong 68 to take solo second place at 6 under par, closely followed by Jeff Kubwa and John Karichu, who are tied at 5 under par. As the tour enters its final 2 rounds, a thrilling matchup is in store, with the top 5 players separated by just 4 strokes.
My name is Mohit Medirata. I'm a professional golfer. Having Safaricom behind me is probably the greatest blessing one could ask for. The talent is there, and now that there's a path to the Olympics, it's exciting and definitely a goal of mine. A lack of consistent tournaments, but we can see that is slowly changing thanks to a beautiful company like Safaricom.
Now, that marks the end of the 30 minutes of informing you here at KUTV Weekend Live. All thanks to my producer, Edu Nyamu, and my director, Boniface Odhiambo. Till next time, my sign language interpreter has been Naomi Ombui. Do have a lovely night.